Hey guys, it's a Canadian dude, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be talking about my experience with the YBB community, otherwise known as the YouTuber Beatbox Battles community. And I was in it from December 2023 to November 2024, so nearly a year. I know it's been nearly 2 years since I left it, but I decided to finally, tackle the topic and finally tell you guys what it was like being in that dreadful community, I'd say. So it basically all started with I don't know if you guys noticed guy Hydro Animates, really famous indie beatboxer and the guy known for being with Verbal Ace in his Discord. But anyways, I joined his server HYB Rejects because Hydro had his own beatbox series named Hydro's Beatbox Battles. I joined in February 2022 from what I remember. Then all I remember is that I was there, and a month later in March of 2022, the server, like the OG one, pretty much shut down, and I left, and I forgot about the YB community after that. A year later, in December 2023, one of the well, gamer actually one of my friends, Gamer 27, invited me to the YBBC server, a basic community server for the YBB. So I joined it, and everyone started praising me like crazy. And honestly, I feel like I grew a bit of an ego from that. And I hated, like, trust me, the YBB community was one of the worst phases of my life. And I regretted being part of it. But we move on, we rebound. But, anyways, I joined the server December 2023, and I instantly become popular among members and stuff. I gained a lot of new friends. And you'll know why I said friends like that because I'll explain in a bit. So, I'm chilling with everyone. There's already majority of the people that I already knew from previous servers and a couple of years ago before I joined the server, but mainly new people I met, and I made friends with a lot of people. But around the time February March 2024, my when I was 2 years ago, my mental health wasn't that good, and I decided to leave, go on break, and I returned. Well, I left originally February 2024. Then I returned the first week of March 2024. So I took a week break, and I stayed there until March 16th, where an argument between two friends. I won't drop their names out of respect, even though I'm on mixed terms and stopped talking to them like a year ago or so. But I was basically, I admit what I admit. I'll take accountability for this. I was an asshole at times, but I would never go out of my way to bully anybody or harass anybody. But I was in a bad mood then, and I kind of spiraled out. And but the thing is, they started ganging up on me. I told I wasn't having it. I'm having a bad day, and then they started to provoke me into an argument. Then it turned into a whole argument. Then I left. June 2024, I I returned after 3 months, and the thing is, it started to come to light to me that these guys were getting sick of me apparently, even though I didn't really do anything to them. There's even a bunch of people saying, "Oh, well, Jotaro did this to me," but the thing is, I didn't do anything to them. They were just following me. So, well, actually, following a user by what, I'm gonna name drop it anyway because fuck that guy, Cipher. So Cipher starts a rumor saying I was bullying, harassing people then, which made his followers think, oh, well, Cypher's right because he had a bunch of followers who would do anything he said or did this and that. So basically, they believed him, and pretty much majority of the YB community unfriended me. They went against me, and I take accountability. I was an asshole at times, but the thing is, for his accusations, I was just trolling, messing around. And the thing is, they took that literally, and they decided, you know what, we're gonna, lie and make up rumors to make him look bad, and it was an attempt to cancel me. Then I realized how desperate this community was to cancel people and shit talk and do all that. Then I started to realize, man, like it was just dreadful. So I left the YBB server again in July, and so yeah. And the thing is, by October, I was already done with the community. Pretty much, I started to cut people off. Then November 2024, they decided to try and cancel one of my friends, Gamer 27, which pissed me off. And I admit I was part of that early crowd early on, but I realized, yeah, this is getting out of hand. But because they over exaggerated, they made it thought he was dating a minor. He did this and they did that, so it went in my head thinking, oh, Gamer is a bad guy. But the thing is, after a day or so, I just I was like, okay, I realized Gamer wasn't doing anything wrong. I realized this community is just desperate for you know, canceling people, doing this, doing that. So I just left. Also, apologies for the stutters and stuff and constant stops. But anyways, I left the community for good. I pretty much, cut contacts with pretty much nearly all the members, and after that, I cut off communities for a while. But nowadays, I'm back to going to communities on Discord. It's just that while I was a dick at times in the YB community and I got a little big headed, I can be honest with you. I never bullied or harassed anybody for no reason. I would never go to my way to do that. That's just being a dick and being unliked. So I never did any of that. I, Being honest, I do want the YBB community to see this video because I really hope by since the time I left, they actually grew up and matured. And yeah, that's basically it. I didn't want to dive into it, but I feel like I should have, let this go for good. And I feel like after diving into it in this video, I left it gone for good. So basically, yeah. So you know what? Have a great day. Like, subscribe, do anything you want, and I'll see you. Peace.